The urge to nest and prepare my home is next level. It's like an addiction. Welcome back to the channel, and this is the next episode of the Pregnancy Diaries with me. If you are new here, my name is Taskeen and welcome. If you like this video, I would encourage you to subscribe because right now I am 34 weeks pregnant, and so my entire channel is full of good pregnancy content coming your way. So definitely subscribe and stick around. Normally I do lifestyle type of content, so either way I think you would really enjoy sticking around, and definitely like this video if you do enjoy it, as well as share it to someone you think this might benefit, so someone else that's also pregnant if you are pregnant right now. But I am currently in the third trimester, and as soon as I came home from Cape Town after I had my baby shower, I had my baby shower in Cape Town a few weeks back, and I came home with a bunch of baby stuff. I hadn't bought any kind of baby items before then, and we got so much stuff. Alhamdulillah, shukran to everybody who showed up at the baby shower and who gave us gifts. And people were telling me that I was still going to get more gifts even after the baby gets here. So right now I feel like we have almost everything. We didn't really have to buy much more after the baby shower. We're not going to buy more clothes either. I think that we can rather buy as we go. If we need more clothes, we can just go and get some more. But I don't think that it would be worth it for us to invest so much money in baby clothes right now, because I've heard that they grow quite fast out of their clothing. So alhamdulillah, I got a lot of secondhand stuff as well, which I really appreciate. I feel like we really have everything we need right now, alhamdulillah. The only thing we need to still get is the diapers, because we are doing reusable diapers. Like after the first month of disposable diapers, we are going to want to do reusable diapers, which does mean that we might have to do laundry more often. So even with clothing, I think that, you know, babies tend to need more than adults do. They spit and they poop everywhere, so I'm sure they go through multiple outfits a day. But I think that because we're going to be doing reusable diapers, we're going to do laundry quite often, and so I think it would be more worth it to just wash the clothes rather than buy more clothes. So yeah, that's the plan for now. Inshallah, we'll be able to get those reusable diapers. And also you can find reusable diapers secondhand on Facebook as well, which is really cool. So really trying to budget a lot and have fun in the process. So yeah, anyways, I'm well into the third trimester now, and I'm getting ready to prepare my home. Things are becoming more difficult for me to do. Things are becoming more uncomfortable physically, but the urge that I have to nest is so strong right now that I'm just like go, and half of the time I really need to try and give myself some rest, like in between doing these different projects. I have pregnancy insomnia, and when I wake up in the middle of the night, all I think about is preparing the nursery and having everything ready for the baby. I have dreams about nesting and dreams about her being here in the clothes that I'm washing, all of those kinds of things. So it's really hectic. I really never expected it to be this strong, of like this sense of urgency to just prepare my home and get ready for the baby. So in this video, I'm going to go through my third trimester checklist, which is just a list of everything that I would like to get done during this third trimester in preparation for baby. So I have this sheet that I made of a printed checklist, and this one is specifically tailored to me. I have a few extra things on here, but I did also make a shortened, more general list. So if you are pregnant and wanting to check the list out, I will have it linked down below, and then you can download it for yourself as well, and then you can follow along in your third trimester. So the first thing is to set up the nursery. So the room next to us here is going to be the nursery. We have painted it so far. That was so fun. Such a cute little warm cream color, just very neutral. And I think we're going to eventually fill that up. It's not my top list of things to do, as long as I got the painting and the big heavy lifting type of stuff out of the way, because obviously I don't think I'm gonna have much time after she gets here to be able to finish the room, but I think Salman will do the rest. So we are going to be doing a Montessori approach, and so with the Montessori approach, everything that she needs to be within her reach. So we are going to have like this little cabinet situation with boxes that she can pull out of that's in her height level as well. So very low to the ground, very small, and yeah, not much, not fancy. My mom did buy a few decorations which will be really nice to put up, but I think I'll just put those things up once we get all the other furniture that's going to go in there. So yeah, right now, as the nursery stands painted, I have the boxes. We bought the boxes already that will go into the cabinet, so I just need to pack those boxes, which will come up in a nesting vlog that will come up in one of the later episodes. You guys will see that as well, so I'll show you exactly how I set up the nursery, but that is on the checklist. Set up the bedside nursery, same thing. I want to have some supplies right next to me with the bassinet set up over here, so you guys will see that also in the nesting vlog. Be sure to click that notification bell so that you can get notified when that video comes out. Next is to deep clean the house. So I've already slowly started doing this. The other day I deep cleaned our washing machine because right now I am doing all the laundry, so it took a long time, longer than you think. If you don't clean your washing machine regularly, you will be stuck with a lot of grime and dirt in there. There was even some things that I couldn't even get out of the washing machine. But other than that, I do want to have some friends over soon and they've agreed to come and help me clean the house. Obviously, I will feed them and give them snacks, and we can just chat and chill as well. But there are things that I need to do that I can't reach right now. Salman has been helping a lot as well, but he's also studying at the moment, so he doesn't have a lot of time on his hands. But like washing the windows, deep cleaning inside the kitchen cabinets, even the roof, like my nesting urgency is telling me that I need to wash the roof and the walls and everything possible. So I'm really I'm noticing every little tiny piece of dirt, and I just want to get it completely spotless. Number 4 is declutter and organize the car. That will also be in the nesting vlog. Next, set up a postpartum care kit, and that will be right next to me in my bedside nursery as well. So everything that I will need for postpartum I want to pack in there as well. Sterilize the bottles, dummies and pups. So right now, even with that, we only have 1 bottle and 2 dummies. In terms of bottles, again, I don't know how often I'm going to need a bottle. I do plan on having a supply for when we go out or when I need to leave her with Salman, or if Salman wants to feed her during the night or something like that. So I do have a haka that I need to sterilize. I think we'll just buy more bottles as we go if we need it, because I do work from home, alhamdulillah, and I'm able to breastfeed on demand whenever. So in terms of bottles, I don't think we'll need that much, inshallah. May Allah grant me a good supply of breast milk so that I don't have to do formula or anything like that. Not to say that formula is a bad thing. You do what is best for you and your baby, of course. No judgment at all. I just would like to prefer to breastfeed, inshallah. So yeah. Baby clothing laundry. So I wasn't going to do the laundry initially, but Piper did tend to sleep and lay around in baby's clothing quite a lot, so I decided I would rather just wash all the stuff, and a lot of the stuff, maybe half of my stuff, is secondhand as well, so I did want to give it a nice wash. I think it's also just the nesting in me that really made me picky. So even right now I've got a load on the line, and I've been doing laundry this whole week because after this we're going to get some rain, so I think now is the best time to do some laundry. Learn how to load and unload the stroller and car seat. I just want to know how to unfold and pack away the stroller, as well as put the car seat in the car in a way that is safe for the baby, strap it all in there. Things like that is what I want to be able to do. Stock up the freezer with freezer meals. So this is really important. I will be having my family, inshallah, that will come over within that first month, and so I do want to have my freezers stocked up with food ready and prepared. Even when my family is not here, I would love to have some meals in the freezer for Salman to be able to heat up for us, because I don't plan on cooking or even really getting out of bed in that first month. I'll see how I feel, I see how the recovery goes, but generally I want to take that whole month to really rest and only be with baby and settle nicely into motherhood. Take it slowly, one day at a time. I don't want to be cooking, I don't want to be cleaning, nothing like that. So I'm going to help my future self by preparing my meals now and stocking them in the freezer. Put together a labor playlist because I do feel that birth is also very spiritual, so I do want to have some Quran, Qira'ah playing as well during my labor, inshallah. So the next few things is just the last little bits of research that I need to do, just because I really want to be prepared as much as I can, although I know I'll never really truly be prepared. I'll never know what it's like to be a mom until I actually get there. I just love having the knowledge, book knowledge, and I love researching. It's just fun and relaxing for me to do. So research and prepare for postpartum, research how to take care of a newborn, research about breastfeeding, ways to feed a baby, how to store breast milk, research about baby sleep, how to sleep train, things like that. Obviously, within the first few weeks, I'm not really going to try and have a schedule, but inshallah, as baby lets me know what her cues are, I want to research about baby cues as well, learn how to tap into her rhythm of things and then build a schedule around her. Being a doula, I do already know quite a bit about labor and birth as well as breastfeeding, but I do want to just touch up a little bit on my knowledge. And then get postpartum loungewear, which I've already gotten. Even in terms of maternity clothes, I didn't buy any maternity clothes. I did buy one black pants, but that's the only thing because none of my pants really fit me. But being a hijabi and dressing modestly, most of my clothes is oversized already, so I didn't really need much maternity stuff. And also I got a lot of secondhand things from my aunties, and even my grandmother gave me a few things that I could wear that fit the bump. So alhamdulillah, like this skirt for example, it's my auntie's skirt and it's perfectly fitting the bump. So alhamdulillah, I've been very blessed and very comfortable in this pregnancy. And I think that in terms of loungewear, my grandmother also gave me quite a few pieces I got from my aunt as well, so I'm very stocked up with loungewear. I did buy myself 2 new pairs of pajamas that I will be packing in my hospital bag, and I will also be wearing that postpartum as well. So you guys will see that in a whole separate video that I'm going to do on what I'm packing in my hospital bag, so stay around for that as well. Next is maternity photo shoot. So we are currently planning that. Salman is taking the lead on that one, and he is planning some kind of photo shoot, and inshallah we're going to do that this weekend. You guys must understand, I think he's gonna go all out for this maternity photo shoot because we didn't splurge on our wedding photos. We do have a few, but a lot of them are also blurred out. I don't have a lot to work with, and so we really regret not splurging on a professional photographer for our wedding photos. So we're definitely gonna go more professional this time around with our maternity photo shoot. And I told him inshallah one day when we do have our honeymoon, because we haven't been on a honeymoon either yet, but inshallah one day maybe on our honeymoon we can also hire a photographer and get some real couple pictures, because yeah, I think this one is really important to Salman. Next, harvest colostrum. So again, this is something I don't know about if I'm really going to do or not, but I would love to be able to get some colostrum out before I go into the hospital, only because I just want something just in case I struggle initially with that breastfeeding latch. For example, if in the case of an emergency C-section, or if something goes wrong with the birth, may Allah forbid, I mean, it would be a lot harder for me to establish that breastfeeding initially. And so I do want to have some stored up colostrum just in case, so that they can feed baby that colostrum instead of feeding her formula. And then once I get that breastfeeding established, then obviously I will breastfeed her. Inshallah, if everything goes to plan and I am able to breastfeed her, then of course I would just rather use the colostrum and the milk that does come out and breastfeed her initially. The colostrum is really my last resort before formula feeding. So that's just like a backup, but it's really not something I really want to use. If I can breastfeed, I'd rather breastfeed, basically. So may Allah grant me to be able to breastfeed easily and get a good latch with her and make her a healthy eater. Next, pack hospital bag. Yes, I'm 34 weeks pregnant and I still haven't packed my hospital bag. So I will be doing that soon and you guys will get that video out as well. Write out a care for you manual for visitors postpartum. So this is just going to be a few tips for my family or friends that might come over during postpartum. I'm very open to having visitors in the hospital as well as when I come home. But mostly it will be, instructions on how to reheat the freezer meals, because I do want my family to be able to eat, have something to eat. I don't want my family necessarily to come here and my mom having to cook and clean all the time, but cleaning and helping around with household chores is something that I would really appreciate in that postpartum time, because I'm going to be, physically in recovery at that point. And in there will also include any boundaries that someone and I might have surrounding the newborn. For example, if my baby cousins come over, which I would love, my small cousins, if they are able to come to PE, inshallah, I would love them to be able to hold her, but I'm sure that a boundary in that sense would be that my younger cousins would only be allowed to hold her once they are sitting down, things like that. My other cousin that had a baby, one of her boundaries was to have sanitized hands before you touch the baby. So just things like that, anything that will help other people to know what Salman and I would like in this postpartum phase would be really helpful. And then write a birth preference list. So that is for when I go into hospital, into labor. I will be doing a whole separate video on how to write a birth preference list as well as a doula, because I do work with women antenatally on constructing their birth plan, their birth preference list. So you guys will see that video. Prepare my body and mind for birth. So in terms of body, of course, working out, stretching. You guys saw my pregnancy workout routine, so that is all in preparation for birth. I also want to increase the amount of times I do my birthing stretches, and I also want to be doing a whole separate video on how I am preparing for labor and birth. So inshallah, if I get the time to do that video, I will definitely put it out for you guys. But if not, I'll just tell you guys after I give birth what I did to prepare for labor and birth. But I have been preparing so far, and also with preparing my mind for birth. I have been going to therapy. Like I said, it's something that I picked up again during this pregnancy in preparation for the big new change that's about to happen in my life. And preparing my mind, I want to try and get to the root cause of any kind of anxiety or fear that I might have around the coming of a baby, because I don't want that anxiety and that fear to be present during my labor or my birth, because again, when your body tenses up, that is when you tend to feel the contractions more, the pain is worse. And so I really want to be relaxed and safe and calm during my labor. And so that is very important to work through my anxiety. One of my fears surrounding labor and birth is the change that might come between Salman and I's relationship, because in our first year we had a really difficult time, and so we finally got into a really good groove for the past 2 years, alhamdulillah. And so something in me is attached to our really good flow of our relationship that we have now. So I really want to focus on having some tools in my back pocket and having some plans ahead to be able to counteract any trouble that we might run into or any shifts that we might have or experience post-birth in terms of our relationship. We've already discussed what his role is as a partner and what my role is as a mom and how we are going to balance each other out, but of course it also comes in to practice once the baby actually is here. And so I think for now we've just been talking a lot about it. What are the types of models and values that we want to instill in our children? What types of parents do we want to be? What types of roles in terms of raising children do we want to take on, and distribute our strengths and weaknesses, and also at the same time prioritizing our relationship, because at the end of the day we are the foundation of the family that we are about to create. And so if we fall, our whole family falls. So essentially just making sure that we are steady and we have a good strong foundation to work with. Then very important on my list is to take infant CPR and first aid classes. So this is something that I am currently speaking to a few people about. It's very difficult to find for some reason, because I've been calling, I've been emailing people, but nobody has been getting back to me. So inshallah, I want to find someone that will help us do some infant CPR or first aid courses. Ideally, I really want to get this done before she comes, but if we don't get it done in time, I still really think it's important to go for first aid for infants and babies. Next, prepare Salman for labor and birth. So my hospital only allows me to have one support person with me in the hospital, and that is going to be Salman. So I can't take a doula with me into the hospital. So essentially he's gonna have to be my doula. So I'm gonna have to train him and coach him and let him know beforehand what he can do to help me during labor and birth. But so far during the pregnancy, even now with Braxton Hicks, he's been really good with helping me manage that pain. So I think there's just a few things, like he's not a very he struggles with words of affirmation, and I think for me that helps a lot. Like in labor, when you're telling me like you're doing a good job, keep going, ride the wave, things like that, like affirmations, birthing affirmations. I'm really gonna need him to feed me that a lot. So I think in terms of that, he asked me to write a script for him. He told me to write some things that he can say to me during labor that will help me. So things like that I want to do. Next, read and watch positive birth stories. So I've been doing this obviously as a doula as well. There is this book, Ina May's Guide to Childbirth, a really good book. I've read that when I was studying to be a doula as well, but I just want to reread a few of the birth stories that are in there. The first half of the book is mostly these positive birth stories, and so I just want to get that inspiration in my mind, in the forefront of my mind before I go into labor and birth, because I want to channel other feminine energy and other feminine power into my birth, inshallah. Book for your hospital bed, and with that take a hospital tour and ask questions. So I already took a hospital tour. As a doula, I've worked in the hospital that I'm going to give birth in, alhamdulillah. So I do know my gynae beforehand. I knew him before I became pregnant, and I also know the nurses very well. So that's really nice. I'm very privileged, alhamdulillah. I did take the tour though, because there were some questions that I wanted to ask, like what the hospital offers me so that I know what to pack in my hospital bag. And then book for my hospital bed. I found out that my gynae is the receptionist. She books for me and she authorizes that, so I don't have to do that anymore. But I thought I needed to do it because people were telling me that I needed to do it, but that is being done for me, alhamdulillah. Next, make nurses gifts, the receptionist, the nurse and the OBGYN. So I do intend on making them gifts, inshallah, whether this is baking something or making like physical gifts. So I'll see. I think I'm going to do that probably right at the end. Next is write down birth du'as. So obviously during pregnancy, birth, and even during nifas, which is during the bleeding phase postpartum, women are held highly in Islam, and so our du'as are really important in this time. So I do want to write out all the du'as that I want to make during, you know, birth, labor, even now during the pregnancy. I've been making a lot of dua. I've really been focusing on that, and so I just want to have them all there so that I know what I'm going to be making dua for, and I could just read my duas from my book. It's kind of like when you go on Hajj and people have a dua book. I kind of want to have that for birth. Let's go to the chiropractor. Again, I really need to book this. I've been pushing this behind, and I just think that going to the chiropractor would be more beneficial for my birth. Learn how to use the sling or the baby carrier thing. One of my best friends, Kayleen, did buy me a baby carrier for my baby shower, so I'm really excited about that, and I just want to learn, you know, how to fold it properly, how to put baby in there safely. I do think that I'm going to use the carrier a lot. I see myself being one of those moms that carry their baby in the carrier, so I just want to make sure that I'm putting the baby in there in a way that's not stunting her growth, you know. Next is the nesting party, which I told you guys about. Just a few of my closest friends coming over to help me prepare the home, clean, deep clean, anything that I need them to do. I'm not gonna, you know, host a party for a lot of people. I know asking someone to come over and clean for you is a really big thing. Like, you can't ask anybody that, so I'm really focusing on asking my closest people to come and help me in the house. I really think nesting parties should become more of a common thing, because I think it's very handy for a mom to be. Even in the postpartum phase, you can have a nesting party instead of having like a baby shower, for example, because I already had my baby shower in Cape Town, and so my closest friends here in PE have been asking me if we're going to do something together, and I asked them if they would be willing to do like a nesting party, and they've said yes. So I'm going to have some friends over for that. That's going to be very exciting. Next is to finish up my YouTube videos and any other work that I have. So I want to batch up some YouTube content so that I don't completely disappear when the baby comes. But I do intend on taking a nice long break from YouTube and from work in general during that postpartum phase. And then lastly, I have pampering myself, and again, I think I'm going to do this right at the end. I really want to go for a wax. I really want to have my hair done, and maybe like a manicure and a pedicure. That would be really nice. So yeah, that's everything on my third trimester checklist. I hope that this video was beneficial to you, and that you have some ideas on what you'd like to do in your third trimester to prepare for baby. Be sure to check the link down below to download this. It's free. It's just like something that I made. Let me know what you guys are going through in your third trimester. Let me know if you had your maternity shoot, if you feel the nesting urge just like how I do. I honestly feel like it's crazy. Like, I really didn't expect it to be this strong of an urge. So tell me, is that normal? I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.